No one wanted to play in Indiana. That's what the critics said. The headlines, the hot takes, the podcast rants, they all painted the same picture. Caitlin Clark was walking into a franchise no one respected, a place where careers went to fade. But just a few months later, the narrative flipped upside down, and the loudest voice in that now silent crowd, Sheryl Swoopes. See, Sheryl didn't just doubt the Indiana Fever, she mocked them. She scoffed at the idea that top-tier free agents would ever sign there. She claimed the locker room was toxic, the culture broken, the roster doomed. Caitlin, in her eyes, was walking into a mess. But reality had other plans. Because the Indiana Fever just pulled off one of the most dominant free agency runs in WNBA history. Natasha Howard, DeWanna Bonner, Sophie Cunningham, Sydney Colson. Not just names. Game changers, veterans, champions, leaders, and every single one of them chose to join the squad Sheryl swore was untouchable. While Sheryl Swoopes was out here confidently making predictions like she had a crystal ball, Stephanie White was on Indeed, building an all-star roster like a GM with a cheat code. It wasn't just about talent. It was about belief. These players didn't come to Indiana because they were desperate. They came because they saw the vision, because they saw Caitlin Clark. Clark didn't walk into the league with a wait-my-turn attitude. She didn't tiptoe, she kicked the door down, shattered records, sold out arenas, and made the Indiana Fever matter. Suddenly, the team nobody wanted to touch became the hottest destination in the league. And what did Sheryl do? She doubled down, kept talking, kept moving the goalposts. First it was, they won't get free agents. Then it was, well, those players won't mesh. Then silence. Dead air. She even went mute during a live broadcast when Caitlin's name came up. 60 seconds of awkward nothingness. Meanwhile, the chemistry in Indiana? Through the roof. Colson said she joined because of Kelsey Mitchell and Clark. Bonner jumped on Twitter to defend her new squad before even stepping on the court. Sophie Cunningham said she's never felt more motivated. And Natasha Howard? She couldn't stop raving about playing with a point guard who sees the floor like a chess master. You can't fake this kind of momentum. You can't fabricate belief. What's happening in Indiana is real, and it's powerful. This isn't just a hot streak. This is a cultural shift. This is a team that was written off and is now writing the next chapter of WNBA history. But let's zoom out for a second. This isn't just about one offseason or one rookie. It's about the old guard versus the new era. It's about Sheryl and others like her watching the game evolve and not being ready for it. Caitlin Clark didn't come in to be decent. She came to take over. She's not just a star, she is the needle. And that truth is burning up a few egos. A'ja Wilson, the so-called face of the league, just lost her best friend to Indiana. Sydney Colson left Las Vegas to team up with the very player her circle has spent months downplaying. The irony couldn't be more delicious. And while the Aces are busy trying to hold it together, the Fever is stacking talent like it's an arms race. Let's talk about momentum. Caitlin Clark didn't just bring buzz. She brought belief. She brought ticket sales. She brought national attention. She got people tuning in who'd never watched a WNBA game in their life. Sponsors are calling. Networks are doubling down. Indiana Fever jerseys flying off the shelves. And while some veterans rolled their eyes, the smart ones paid attention. Players who'd spent years grinding for half-empty arenas suddenly saw a chance to be part of something bigger. They saw what Clark represented. A shift. A new wave. A future that isn't just promising, it's profitable. Stephanie White isn't building a team, she's building a movement. With Clark on a rookie deal, Indiana's going all in. No waiting, no rebuilding. The mission is clear. Win now, win big, and let the haters eat their words. And Sheryl? Well, she's scrambling, backpedaling, pretending like she didn't just miss on every prediction she made. The same woman who once hyped up A'ja like she was the second coming of MJ is now watching Indiana become the team everyone wants to play for. The funniest part? These aren't bottom-tier role players filling roster holes. These are real stars. Real contributors. Choosing Indiana, choosing Caitlin, choosing the vision. This is what dominance looks like. Not just on the court, but off it. A franchise once laughed at now as one of the most electric lineups in the league. The vibes are high. The energy is different. And the rest of the WNBA? They're officially on notice. Meanwhile, the Aces, slipping, Chicago, still trying to figure out what direction they're going. Connecticut, imploding in real time. And Indiana, they're the blueprint, the standard, the future. The Fever aren't just relevant, they're terrifying, they're young, they're stacked, and they're united. This isn't a fluke, it's not hype, it's the beginning of a dynasty. And what makes it even better? The fact that every step of this climb is proving people wrong. Every signing, every bucket, every assist. It's all part of the story. So to Sheryl and the rest of the anti-Clark brigade, it's time to accept the facts. Caitlin Clark didn't just change the Indiana Fever, she changed the entire WNBA. The league didn't elevate her. She elevated the league. And this is just the beginning. There's a new era rising in women's basketball, and it's centered around a blonde assassin who doesn't flinch, doesn't fold, and doesn't need permission. She's not here to play nice. She's here to win. And if you're still doubting her, you haven't been paying attention. So buckle up, the Fever are coming. And they're not just aiming for the playoffs, they're coming for the crown. If you're ready for what's next, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications. The Fever are coming for the championship, and we'll be here to cover every step of the takeover.